Hey everyone, today we're going to tackle something that is a huge milestone for every single English learner out there: the past simple. Nailing this is a total game changer for your fluency, so let's just jump right in and get it done. First things first, if you find the past tense a little tricky, trust me, you are not alone. It's a super common hurdle, especially if your native language handles the past in a totally different way. Okay, so this slide gets right to the heart of it. It shows the core difference. See, in a lot of languages, you just add a time word, like yesterday, and the verb stays the same. But in English, oh no, the verb itself actually changes. We don't just say when it happened, we change the action word. And that little switch is the key thing we need to wrap our heads around. So, how do we actually do it? Well, the good news is the rules are way simpler than you probably think, especially once you see them laid out nice and clear. Basically, when a verb goes into the past, it can take one of two paths. For most verbs, the regular ones, it's super easy. You just stick an ed on the end. So, walk becomes walked. Simple, right? But then you've got the irregular verbs. These guys are the rebels. They play by their own rules and change completely. Go becomes went. There's no real pattern, you kind of just have to learn them. But I promise, with a little practice, they become second nature. Now, when we want to make negative sentences or ask questions, we need a special tool. So let me introduce you to our little superhero, the helper verb, did. This powerful little word does all the heavy lifting for us in the past tense. Let's see how this works. In a positive sentence, you'd say, she ate beef noodles. The verb ate is in the past, but to make it negative, we call in our helper. She didn't eat beef noodles. See what happened there? Here's the most important part. Once didn't is in the sentence, the main verb ate goes back to its original form, eat. Why? Because didn't is already doing all the past tense work for us. And it's the exact same thing with questions. The statement is, they watched a movie. To flip that into a question, we just pop our helper did right at the very beginning. Did they watch a movie? And look, the main verb goes right back to its original form, watch. Again, did is handling the past tense, so watch doesn't have to. All right, enough with the theory and the rules. Let's make this real. Let's see how this stuff actually works in real life with some examples you might actually use every single day here in Taiwan. Here we go. I stayed at home last Sunday because it rained. That's a regular one. They watched a movie at Visho Cinema last night. Another regular. I went to 7-Eleven to buy a coffee this morning. Ah, there's an irregular one. He studied English for 2 hours last night. Regular. And we visited Tom's Way Old Street last weekend. You're starting to see the pattern, right? And come on, here's an irregular verb I think we can all relate to. I drank pearl milk tea after work. The original verb is drink, but in the past, it changes to drink. I bet you've used that one. Let's keep the momentum going. Let's build up that confidence. The MRT was very crowded. She bought a new iPhone at the mall. They played basketball at the park on Saturday. I saw my teacher at the night market. And we traveled to Taichung by HSR last month. You see? Regular, irregular, they're absolutely everywhere. You're starting to feel it now. Okay, you've seen the rules, you've seen the examples. Now it's your turn. And hey, this isn't a test. Don't worry. It's just a fun little chance to put what you've just learned into action. You ready? Okay, first one. We have a great dinner at the Hot Pot restaurant. So what's the past tense of have? Go on. Think about it for a second. And the answer is had. Have is an irregular verb. We had a great dinner. Hey, if you got that, awesome job. Let's try another one. She write an email to her boss 2 hours ago. How does the verb write change when we're talking about the past? She wrote an email. Yep, another one of those irregular verbs. See? They pop up all the time in everyday conversation. All right, next challenge. Okay, time to use our helper verb again. How would you take this sentence, he liked the stinky tofu, and make it negative? What do you think? And here it is. He didn't like the stinky tofu. We brought in didn't, and our verb liked went right back to its original form. Like. Perfect. You're getting this. Okay, here it is, the final challenge. And I'm giving you this one because it's a super common mistake. Have a look at this sentence. What is wrong with I didn't bought a milk tea? And the correct sentence is I didn't buy a milk tea.
Remember that golden rule. After didn't, the verb has to go back to its original form. Didn't already did the job of putting it in the past. Fantastic work.
You did it. You got through the rules, the examples, and all the practice. Let's just take a quick second to realize what a huge step forward this actually is for your English. And I am serious, mastering the past simple is such a big deal. It literally unlocks your ability to tell stories, to share your experiences, and to connect with people on a completely new level. You have just reached a major, major milestone. So, I'm going to leave you with a final challenge to put your new skill to use right now. Think about it. Or even better, write it down in the comments. What did you do yesterday? You've got the tools now. Go use them. Thanks for joining me.